To actually respond because I'm not happy with him.
This is one of the great spells of test bowling by Richard Hadley.
I used to read your articles as a teenager, and there was an article where you wrote that Martin Crowe and Dean Jones had a bet to whoever would score the most runs would buy the other one a bottle of wine. You also said in that article maybe Dino should have had that bet with you and Chatfield, your number 11.
We'd never played against each other, and Dino was asked a question in the media, what do you think of Hadley as a bowler? And he said, well, Hadley's just like any other bowler. So I immediately...
One second. Yeah. Relax, boys. It's just a game of cricket. Love him.
Let's take, for example, the 2007 World Cup played in Barbados against Sri Lanka. Do you know of the 4 players that missed out of that 15? The 4 players that did not get a game, Brad Hodge, Mitchell Johnson, Brad Haddon, and I think it might have been Shane Watson or something, missed out. Those 4 guys couldn't get in the team. We had some very, very good players. And more importantly, they learnt the stuff that we did in the 80s and 90s, and then, well, we're going to put the foot down for longer. We're not sure. Our game plan was to hurt them in the first 15 overs. We peter along at 4.5 and over, 4 to 5 and over in the mids, but in the death overs, well, then we go hard again. Well, the Australians just went hard right from the get-go. Hayden and all these guys just went Gilly and all that type of stuff. How Gilly opened the batting and Mark Waugh up the batting and up the top there, and then Ricky Ponting came along. Gee, good luck. Good luck with trying to beat those teams. And then McGrath and Wong were just something sensational. And, you know, we had great death bowlers, great bowlers with the new ball. We hurt them with the new ball. We hurt them at the death. So, and Brett Lee was up there, was probably close to our best bowler with the ball and knew how to reverse it at 100 miles an hour. Good luck trying to beat that team. Pretty close to the best ever one-day team ever of all time.
Spot on, Dino, because I remember the 2015 World Cup. Incidentally, I was there. And winning for Australia was like normal. And after the World Cup was won, the next day, they just came to the Melbourne Square for 15, 20 minutes. They were felicitated with a medal, and that's it. But especially in India or Pakistan or Sri Lanka, when we win a World Cup, it's a big thing. I mean, the players are felicitated. Nothing wrong in that. But in Australia, a win in a World Cup is like a walk in the park.
Yeah. I'm not trying to downgrade it at all. We've only got 23 million people here, for God's sake. And cricket's probably the 3rd or 4th most popular sport. Number 1 is fishing. Next one is AFL by miles. And then you've got netball, which has got the most registered members that play netball. Men and women play together, and women's. And then comes cricket, and then there's soccer. You know, our hockey, I think, is the 15th ranked sport, and we do very well at that. Because sport is in our culture. You go to school, learn what you have to do, and then part of that schooling is to learn to play within a team. Know your role, be disciplined, and then be coached in a way to be aggressive and take them on. And we want to see a guy who can bowl at 100 miles an hour, because the easiest thing to teach Brett Lee is defence and trying to bowl and get him straightened up and to bowl straight. We want to see guys hit it as far as they can with T20 cricket. The easiest thing to teach a kid is to play forward defence. You can't teach a guy like Andre Russell that hits at 120 metres. That's just skill. It's something you can't teach. It comes from within. But we ask kids to, if you've got an arm, throw it as hard as you can. We want to show off in the field, show off your skills. If you can spin it, rip it 2 feet like Warney did, or Stu McGill or whoever. And that's the way we play. Like, you get guys like Andrew Simons, who are amazing in the field and beautiful hitters of the ball. And we practice big hitting a lot more than most other countries do in the world. And we do our analytics on teams. We do our homework. And the biggest thing of all is that the coach has to sell the game plan. It's like you with Danube. I'm trying to sell Danube to all the future clients. This is our stuff. as a coach, I've got to sell the players the game plan. Once they agree to it, then they stick to it. When under pressure, what is the game plan? We know this guy, Andre Russell, hits it for 6. Hit his left boot. Aim for his left boot, no matter what the situation is. Hit his left boot or hit his left ear. That's what we're trying to do. And the players do that. And our attention to detail is massive. We do not leave any stone unturned about our opposition, and that's what we've done. And we're unbelievably fit. When I was coach of Afghanistan, I asked them, do you think you're good enough to beat India? And they all said, yes. I had an interpreter with their push. So I said, okay, tell me why India was number one team in the world. And I wrote it down, I think, on one of my boards at the back, and we wrote all the things down. And I said, right, out of all these, which things do you think that your team is not doing? Do you think you're as fit as you could be? No. Do you think you could do this? And anyway, it got to a stage, so I showed him a video of Virat Kohli bench pressing 150 kilos. I said, can any of you do that? And they were just blown away. He does that? They said, yes, this is what he's doing. And you think you can beat him? You think you can beat these guys? You might get lucky one game, but you're not going to beat them over a period of time. So until you actually get your game up to their level, don't even bother opening your mouth. And I tell you what, they've changed Afghanistan, haven't they? They've improved massively over the last 2 or 3 years, but that's the difference with us. I compared our fat contents and our caliper tests and weight from the Afghanistan team, which I think you do 8 tests on the tricep, stomach, pecs, back of the arms. I think the Australians were round about average for the whole team was 55. Afghanistan's was 110. Stop eating the rice. Stop eating the naan bread. You might have half a chance to start doing the proper. This day and age, they have to get fit. And I tell you, one kid does it very well. Rashid Khan. You look at him; he is just rippling fit, and he's taken on board because the IPL experience, and he's really enhanced it, enjoyed it, and it's made him a better cricketer. They're starting to learn that they have to get themselves fit. But have a look how fit the Indian boys are. Amazingly fit. Oh, and that's the way the game has got to be. You get paid millions of bucks. If you can't do the running between the wickets and hit it for 6 at the end, don't bother coming. I don't want you in my team. And that's the way it's got to be this day and age. You look at the way David Warner runs between the wickets from the first ball of a T20 match or a one-day international to the 40th or to the last 2 overs of T20.